Hi guys, this is Ratchet Throw, and we are playing Criminal Case, another Elite mode, and this time we are in World Edition. And the case I'm going to play, suggested by you guys, is Case 48, last case in South America. And a note to people who don't know anything about World Edition, this case is going to contain lots of spoilers. So if you don't know anything about World Edition, just turn off this video. Or not, just stay. Okay, let's get in. I just want to avoid knowing who the killer is, and neither you guys can see it. Okay. Katrina, we had adventures of a link with proportions in Rio. It don't just mean my little hallucinogenic trip, but I could use a reminder about our new mission. We're in Campanilla, Colombia. The village was named after a beautiful 20th century bell, or campana in Spanish. It is located in the tower behind us. The pond, there's no time for a guided tour. We come to Campanilla because of another Spanish word, sombra. According to an old flyer we found in Rio and a testimony of Hector Montoya, sombra may have started in this village many years ago as a circle of intellectuals. All the more reason to study Campanilla thoroughly. If sombra started here, we are bound to find something on El Rey too. El Rey? I don't know, are we sure that dude's even alive? He must be older than dirt. And if he... Dung, if I read it right. Katrina, did you hear that? My ears are still ringing. It came from that old bell tower over there. Katrina, let's see what's going on. Okay. And we didn't see who dies before we entered this case, so... I mean, he wasn't on the picture of the case. Oh, I didn't even say anything about my avatar. I did a bit of a change, and I may look funny now, I may look scary. I just look like Jason Voorhees now. Michelle. Well, we know where the sound came from and how it happened. Oh my god! Michelle! Katrina, we need to get her to the hospital. Jack, she's not breathing. That bell crushed her. It's too late. But she can't be dead. She left the office just 5 minutes ahead of us, and she was fine. She was fine until she was killed. Look at that rope Katrina's found. Someone cut the bell down. We should examine that rope for forensic clues. Michelle was murdered? But who could have done this? I don't know, but that fairy ticket might tell us. Let's run that flash code through the database and see who bought it. We walk into Sombras's turf. I guess we can't be too surprised that they greeted us by killing Michelle. In fact, Katrina's right. This only confirms that we are close to a breakthrough. There's something or somebody in Campanilla that Sombra doesn't want us to find. But this is insane, Katrina. As if being betrayed by a mole wasn't enough, now they have to kill our agent too? Michelle and I had our differences, but I started to warm up to her. She didn't deserve to die like this. We'll have to mourn her later. Jack, take Michelle's body to the morgue. Tell the team no one should wander off alone. Katrina and I will start the investigation. That's right. So, what happened to Michelle? Michelle and I joined the bureau almost at the same time, Katerina. I've got to see her on my autopsy table. Michelle's murder shocked us all, or maybe we should have seen it coming. Sombra is clearly furious that we found this place. The use of the bell as a murder weapon was clever. Without direct contact between the killer and the victim, forensic clues were impossible to obtain. The only clue I found is something the killer wanted us to find. Look, in Michelle's pocket there was this torn book page. It says, Chapter 2, For Whom the Bell Falls. I didn't even need Monsieur Dupont to identify the book. It's Ernesto Carpena's novel Rayuela de Ficciones. In Chapter 2, a character dies the same way as Michelle. Even criminal masterminds have weaknesses. This killer has two: vanity and Argentinian literature. They've read Rayuela de Ficciones. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. You're right, Katerina. This book can only end one way, with the killer's arrest and Sombra's downfall. That's right. Let's examine the rope. Oh, I so hate it when they're in the corner. Katrina, you collected some brown leaves from the rope that suspended the bell. Lars will help us figure out who cut it down. Okay. Alright, now the ferry ticket. An 8-bit ticket. Oh no, I did find the barcode. Look at me. Katrina, the flash code on the ferry ticket from the crime scene identified the passenger, Senor Prax. Oh, we know him. You're right, we heard that name before. Senor Prax is Sombra. He sailed their ship to Antarctica in the 1950s. In Argentina, you arrested Prax's granddaughter. She was fanatically loyal to Sombra and refused to tell us what became of her grandfather. We later learned Alejandro went to the Sequoia, but we lost track of him again. You're right, Katerina. Alejandro Prax clearly has a long history with Sombra. I wonder what brings him to Campanilla now, but in a small village like this, he won't be hard to find. Yes. Senor Prax, are you the Alejandro Prax who sailed the ship to Antarctica back in the 1950s? Yes, I am. At your service, Lisbeth, Katerina. I'm surprised anybody remembered that old expedition. A ferry trip is all I can manage these days. No need to be modest, Senor Prax. You and your family have managed to do quite a lot for Sombra. Is that what brings you to Campanilla too? Sombra? Lisbeth, Katerina, those dear old days are behind me. It was time for you to take over. I'm just an old man visiting his birthplace, Lisbeth, Katerina. At my age, climbing out to the bell tower is a thrilling adventure. Thrilling is one way to put it. One of our agents has just been killed there. I'm sorry to hear that, Lisbeth, Katerina. Looks like not everyone's lucky enough to live to be my age. The weak die again, right? Katrina, I'll leave my badge in practice an old man visiting his birthplace, like he said. He makes no secret of his Sombra affiliations. And why would he come home now after a lifetime of laying low in South America? Tell you what, he's exactly how I picture El Rey. Old, arrogant, good at giving orders, and better at dodging questions. But if he killed Michelle, it'll be the end of his hiding. But you're right, we haven't had a look around the village square yet. We were here when we heard the bell fall. Let's go back there now. Maybe the killer ran through this place when escaping. Still like my avatar. Katrina, I don't care how this last words is going to lead us to Michelle's killer, but go ahead, check for an ID. That antique coin is a less common thing to lose. Let's see if we can lift some skin cells off the surface. Katrina, Michelle's dead, but we're already on the killer's trail. They'll be sorry to have messed with our partner. That's right. Alright, let's check the wallet. Michelle's so scarred. Wait, is that your wallet or somebody else's? Katrina, what's Michelle's old business card doing in this wallet? That means the wallet's owner knew Michelle. What are the chances? Por Dio, that's my wallet. Give it back or I'll call the police. No need, we are the police. Don't worry, ma'am, we are the police. And we need to have a word with you. Alright. Alright, now let's collect the skin cells from the coin. The coin itself looks familiar to me. Katarina, let's put that skin cell sample from the antique coin under the microscope. Okay. Let's analyze the skin cells first. I knew he was going to come. Katrina, the DNA on the antique coin you picked up at the marketplace matched a certain Ignacio Munoz. Munoz? Isn't that the name of that Sombra collaborator we met in Argentina? Interesting that he's dropping coins like breadcrumbs wherever we go. You're right, Munoz being here just when Michelle's killed is suspicious. Let's grill him. That's right. Alright, let's go to the old lady first. Doña Amarga, we need to ask you about this business card in your wallet. How did you know Michelle Zuria? I only knew her as a little girl, Lisbeth Katerina. I locked her up in the closet many a time when she disobeyed me. Oh dear. You locked up Michelle in a closet? That's charming. Are you her relative? I was her governess. Senor Zuria was an army officer stationed in the Americas. I looked after Michelle till they moved to the US when she was 12. Poor Dio. That child needed discipline. I tried to teach her to be useful, to contribute, and she'd answer back, looking at her nails like a little madam. Sounds like something Sombra would do. Yeah, she kept the habit well into adulthood. But I had hopes for her. I told her it's a man's world, but a woman can rule it if she's strong. When I learned Michelle became a lawyer, I saw my hard work rewarded. Well, being a lawyer didn't save her from being crushed by a bell. Michelle was here? And she's dead? Dio mio. That's unfortunate, Lisbeth Katerina. But maybe Michelle answered back to the wrong person. Who knows? I don't like her. Katerina, I didn't get a maternal vibe from Michelle's old governess. Not sure I have her look after Sanjay. I know the times were different back then, but she locked Michelle up in the closet. You're right, her talk about contributing was suspiciously familiar too. This town is clearly swarming with Sombra. Let's keep an eye on Doña Amarga. Yes. Alright, let's go to Ignacio now. Fancy meet you again, Lisbeth Katrina. Is little Michelle not with you today? She died, and you're a suspect. Michelle's been murdered. Don't pretend you don't know about it. Michelle's dead? My, that is regrettable, but not surprising. Someone doesn't like traitors. Funny that you mentioned it. We know what you like, Munoz. Anyone who pays you antiques, including Sombra. Tell us what you had to do to earn this coin. Nothing that concerned Michelle. Really. Lisbeth Katerina, it's true that I like beautiful things. Michelle was also beautiful. I never wished to see that beauty destroyed. We'll see if your story checks out, Munoz. Don't skip town. Let's check out the brown leaves. Katerina, I can't believe Michelle's dead. Neither can we believe. She was getting really good at my knock-knock jokes. Lars, you're still reeling from what happened with Angela. If you aren't feeling up to this, we'll ask Grace to help. No, Katerina, I want to play my part in bringing Sombra down. Now, the results in that residue from the rope in the bell tower. In short, it was a particular kind of tobacco leaf called corojo. Or corojo. Corojo is grown in the Vuelta Abajo region of Cuba, and it's used for the outer wrappings of cigars. The tobacco must have gotten on the rope via the knife that was used to cut the bell down. So the killer smokes. Which means the killer used the same knife they also used to cut their cigars. So the killer smokes cigars. They might think they are a cut above the rest, but cutting the bell down on Michelle will be their downfall. How can anyone smoke the cigars? They are bigger than cigarettes. And I won't try it. I don't smoke and I must not smoke because I have asthma. Katerina, I still can't believe Michelle's dead. We've been so busy investigating that we haven't even had time to mourn her. It's true that we didn't warm up to her immediately, but Michelle found her place on the team. It's disheartening that the Bureau should suffer another loss so soon after Angela's betrayal. But Katerina, I don't expect it to be deterred now that we are so close to a breakthrough with Sombra. Well, Capriles is definitely a place of strategic significance. Even an old veteran of Sombra, Senor Prax, crawled out of the woodwork. Another suspect, Ignacio Munoz, is already known to us for his links with Sombra. And we also met Michelle's childhood governess, who was a little too fond of discipline and contributing. But, Katerina, there you are. I ran all the way from the village. I've made a discovery. The Bond? What are you doing alone in the village? Katerina, listen. I found El Rey. Oh! The leader. Well, you will tell us that in the next chapter. We're gonna stop here. We're gonna continue playing in chapter 2. So, thank you for watching. Don't leave a like to this video, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!